What would you do if someone you trusted, someone who raised you, stole your $1 million idea and tried to pass it off as their own in front of a live audience? I'm Leah, I'm 19, and last month, I exposed my aunt. Live. On stage. In front of hundreds of people. I didn't mean to start a war. But when I saw her holding my invention, smiling like she built it from scratch, I couldn't stay silent. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. She called it her biggest launch yet. Bragged that it would change the world of wearable tech. People applauded. Investors leaned forward. Reporters took notes. And I just stood there, trying to breathe. Because the product she held was mine. Every stitch, every line of code, every fiber of cooling tech, I created it. And she knew that. She'd seen me building it in our garage. She watched me spend nights hunched over my laptop, soldering parts until my hands cramped. She even asked me about the tech, said she was so proud. But now here she was, taking credit. So calm. So fake. I wasn't ready to go public. But when she smiled and said, "And now I give you the future," something inside me snapped. So I stood up, walked to the front, and held up the prototype I never let out of my sight. You can't take credit for this. The entire room froze. But what came next would flip everything upside down. Ever look back at someone and realize they were never actually on your side? Vanessa wasn't just my aunt, she was the Vanessa Calloway. 42. Corporate speaker. Startup queen. Magazine featured power woman. The type who always looked red carpet ready, even in sweatpants. Everyone loved her. They said I was lucky she took me in. I believed it too. After my parents died, I was 12. Vanessa stepped in. Private school. Tennis lessons. A guest house all to myself. Sounds perfect, right? But behind closed doors, things were different. You should be grateful. That was her favorite line. I heard it every time I asked for anything, emotional support, space, even a break from schoolwork. So I escaped into building. Circuits. Code. Prototypes. My room turned into a lab. My laptop became my best friend. When I stumbled into the idea of a self-cooling fabric, I felt like I had finally made something that mattered. I told her about it once, half by accident. I was rambling, excited. She smiled and said, "Wow, that's impressive." Then she asked how it worked. Then what it was made of. Then if I had plans to do anything real with it. I shrugged. "It's just a personal project for now." She nodded. And 2 weeks later, I heard her on the phone. Bluetooth speaker, full volume, in the kitchen. "I've got the prototype. The girl doesn't even have a patent." I stood there frozen. But what she did next proved this wasn't just a misunderstanding. Ever been invited to your own betrayal? Vanessa told me I had to come. Said it was a family-first business moment, and she wanted to show me what real success looks like. I didn't ask questions. I was still trying to pretend I hadn't heard that phone call. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe she was helping me. Maybe she meant something else. But I knew better. The launch event was held at this sleek industrial venue downtown. Polished concrete floors. Tech booths lit like museum displays. People wore all black, except for the pops of glowing blue lanyards that screamed, VIP. The banners read, "Very cool, the future of wearable climate." There were posters of Vanessa standing like a tech goddess next to what looked way too much like my prototype. My stomach twisted. Then I saw it. On a mannequin under a spotlight, my cooling fabric. Same stitching. Same embedded sensor. Same hexagonal thread weave I invented after 4 months of trial and error. I pushed through the crowd and walked up to it. Inside the lining? A red stitch. My red stitch. The one I sewed in by hand to track my first complete build. She hadn't even bothered to remove it. I turned slowly. And there she was, Vanessa, smiling at me like nothing was wrong. Like she didn't just gut me in front of all these people. She leaned close and whispered, "You should be proud. This is going to change everything." She had no idea. Because I'd already texted someone. Bring my backup prototype. Now. But what happened when I walked up to that stage caught everyone off guard. You ever speak without planning it, just move because staying quiet would kill you? The second she finished her pitch, the room erupted in applause. Vanessa bowed her head like royalty. Thank you all for believing in innovation, she said. This is just the beginning. And then came the Q&A. She opened it up to the crowd, all smiles and confidence. I raised my hand. She saw me. Paused. Yes, she said sweetly, like I was just another fan. I stepped forward. My friend had just slipped me the prototype, the real one. Mine. I held it tight in my hands like a loaded weapon. I have a question, I said. For the inventor. Vanessa's eyes narrowed. The crowd leaned in. I climbed the stage steps. I didn't shake. I didn't blink. I just stood beside her, raised the fabric, and let the silence do the work. This is mine. Gasps. Vanessa's smile faltered. I made this in my garage. Spent 8 months coding the cooling sensor. I even marked it. I turned the lining inside out, revealing the red stitch. This design, I said, holding both fabrics side by side, was stolen. Murmurs spread like wildfire. Cameras lifted. People recording. You can't take credit for this. Vanessa opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Then she grabbed the mic. And what she said next made the room go silent for a very different reason. She didn't deny it. She twisted it. Vanessa took the mic like she was accepting an award. She smiled again, tight, forced, and said, Leah's right. She did help with this. But let's be clear, she's my niece. She lives in my house. She used my electricity, my supplies, and my connections. So yes, this invention is a team effort. Team effort? I stared at her, stunned. She wasn't backing down. She was doubling down. She wouldn't even know how to pitch this, Vanessa went on. I'm simply bringing it to market because she didn't have the resources to do it on her own. And that's when I snapped. Oh, really? I said. I built this in my garage at night while you were out posting yoga reels. You weren't in the lab with me. You didn't even ask how it worked until I'd already finished it. I pulled out my phone and held it up. Here are my time-stamped build logs. Draft files. Test videos from last year. Check the metadata. Then someone unexpected stood up. A young guy in the audience, maybe late 20s, clean-cut, wearing a name badge that read Andre AITA Ventures. She pitched that exact design to me last week, he said. Said it was her solo project. Told me her niece was just an inspiration. Vanessa's face collapsed. And right there, in front of everyone, the narrative shattered. People started clapping. But I barely heard it. Because that's when a woman in a suit tapped my shoulder and said, You need to take this call. Right now. I stepped outside, heart pounding, still holding the prototype like it might vanish. The woman handed me her phone. Patent attorney, she whispered. He was watching the live stream. I put the phone to my ear. Leah, the voice said. I saw what happened. I'm going to help you protect your work immediately. You've got everything we need to file. Within 48 hours, my patent was submitted. Not only that, but with my professor's support and Andre from AITA backing me, I had a real shot at launching my invention. Under my name. Vanessa? She tried to sue for partial ownership. She lost. Badly. Turns out, pitching stolen work to multiple investors doesn't look so great when it all unravels on video. Her credibility? Gone. Brand deals? Pulled. She posted a notes app apology a week later, claiming miscommunication. I didn't respond. Remember when I said she always told me to be grateful? Now she gets to watch me succeed without needing her name, her money, or her permission. So, what would you have done? If someone close to you tried to steal your life's work, would you fight back, even if your voice shook? Tell me in the comments. Because trust me, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say just enough to make the whole room go silent.